that and not from other institutions. And therefore, I pay myself back. I don't pay other institutions back.
Mm-hmm.
So just using that concept alone, that's how it's changed. So now I have a business bank account that can feed into my personal bank account that can pay me, right? You got to pay yourself first. I'm talking, if you only make 50K a year or 20K a year or $500,000 a year, it doesn't matter. You
So
got to pay.
essentially, you are the bank. You created your own bank.
Absolutely. So therefore, by me understanding that concept, again, not the amount of money, it's just understanding the concept. That has now allowed me to be able to move in a way that where I don't carry any credit card debt because I'm able to borrow from myself and not pay back Bank of America, Wells Fargo, American Express, or whatever. I pay myself back. And now I move like a business or like an established entity would. And it's a night and day game changer, man, to me. And I think most people who are confused about business, sometimes they work themselves and they work and work more, and they're not leveraging some of these tools that are available to them. So, that's why we're here, though. And, that's why we're here to break this information down, get this info out to the family, and hopefully you guys, make some changes. And if we can help, then this is how we do it, man.
All right. So I'm unable to upload these slides, so we'll go into the first catastrophe to avoid. So the first one is poor financial management. London, I think you could gangster boogie on this one.
Yeah, so that's such a, I would say, general and broad concept for poor, having poor financials. Because in business, I would say one of the biggest mistakes I see when it comes to new LLCs, when it comes to small business owners, or even established business owners who really haven't took the time to make sure that their back office is in position, because that's really important. So when you go to get some of these financial products, especially when you're dealing with business loans and business lines of credit, see, that's one thing we have to differentiate the different financial products, because for in most cases, we go to a financial institution. Let's take Chase Bank, for example. And you guys go in there, right? You are confident. You just created your LLC. You walk in there, you big CEO style, and you say, hey, I'm a big CEO. What's up? Big CEO, need a loan. The first thing that's going to come to that business relationship manager or that sales rep, whoever is in that financial institution, they're going to say, well, we need documentations, right? We need tax returns, 2-year tax returns. We need bank statements. We need not only personal tax returns, but business tax returns. We need P&L statements. We need cash flow statements. We need balance sheets, right? We need all these different types of documentation. We need paycheck stubs, right? We need 3 to 6 months bank statements. So we need all these documentations. Plus, we need a business plan on top of that. And we need a little dab of your blood and your firstborn baby blood. Kidding. I'm kidding. But I would say that's the mindset, how we think about it when they ask for all those documentation. Like, man, they need everything under the sun. And you're right, because it's all about risk. But here's the thing, what you don't know. When you first went into that financial institution and you asked for a business loan, you already position yourself to fail, because there's different type of products out there. When you ask for a business loan, yes, they're going to ask for all those documentations. So your back office needs to be in position. So for example, if you're co-mingling, and I'm going to dive into different financial products. So right now I'm specifically talking about business loans and business lines of credit a little bit too, but there's different ways to get the banks, to get money from the banks. We're going to dive into that a little bit later. But to stick on this subject, when you're co-mingling funds, for example, did you know you're technically not in business until you have a business checking account? I don't care when you establish your articles of organization, right? Most people say, I ask them, hey, how long you been in business? Oh man, I've been doing this for 10 years. Then I do a follow-up question. Okay, well, how long you have your articles of organization, your LLC or your S Corp or whatever separate entity that you form? Oh man, I just did that a year ago. Okay, perfect. How long have you had a business checking account? 2 months ago. Well, technically, you're not in business in the eyes of the lender. You've only been established for 2 months. Why? Because lenders and creditors want to track your payment data. They want to see your banking history. That's going to determine if you're an established business owner or not. That's going to determine part of your risk factor. So we definitely want to make sure that first thing we do to get a business checking account, right? That's one of the most, not the first thing, but that's one of the most important things that we do. So now we got a business checking account. Now we don't have to commingle our funds, right? How do we prevent that? How do we, if we want to pay ourselves, how do we do that? Well, we have a business checking account. Next thing we have to do is get a payment processor. So which means you got to get somebody that I partner with called ADP, that I teach all my mentees and all the people that I specialize in helping them get business funding and get partner with ADP, which is the largest payroll provider. Some of you probably got ADP on here right now, or you received your paycheck from ADP, right? They help millions of people. Primarily 50% of small business owners they help. That's what they specialize in. So quick plug real quick. Go to my link, you get 15% off and you get 3 months free if you sign up with ADP through me, which is really huge. Why? Because now you're not transferring your business to your personal. Did you know you get no credit from these financial institutions when you transfer these funds? They see your business as a liability. That's the worst thing. You don't want to position your business as a liability. So when you're co-mingling your funds, and trust me, I did this like back in 2017 all the way to 2019. I'm co-mingling my funds, right? Just making that transfer. So once you position your business properly, now you're opening up for more financial products. Now you position yourself to get a business loan. Why? Because now you position yourself as a W-2 employee of your company and not big CEO. Right? Not big CEO popping your collar. So now you only have to provide limited documentations as opposed to providing all those other documentation that they will add when you're asking for a business loan. I'm keep putting emphasis on that because, again, I want to differentiate the different products that we're going to go over a little bit later. So when you're going to ask for a business loan, yes, you will have to make sure that your back office is set. You will have to make sure that you're paying yourself. That can be monthly, that can be weekly, bi-weekly, whatever, but you're paying yourself a paycheck. Now, it doesn't have to be a form of paycheck, right? You can do direct deposit. That's paying yourself. But you separate yourself from the business. Now, here's the great thing about it. And I'm going to leave it at this. Here's the great thing about it. When you're paying yourself, did you know now you have double the revenue? So not only you can have credit for your business revenue, but now you have credit for your personal revenue, your personal income. So you get double the revenue when you're trying to apply for these financial products, specifically a business loan. And now it's going to lower your debt to income ratio, right? I'm going to explain what a DTI, if you don't know what a DTI is, I'm going to give you the formula, but I'll explain that a little bit later. But you lowering your debt to income ratio, so which is huge. So we have to properly set our business up. So when we need a capital, we already prepared. See, most of you right now, you wait until your back against the wall and say, oh, I need a loan. I need $1 million back in 30 days. I need $1 million in 2 weeks. But the data points doesn't say that you can get $1 million. Hell, it even say you can get $10,000 because you're not properly positioned, right? So I hope that makes sense. And I'm gonna pass it to you, Tech, or whoever, Tiger.
Nah, appreciate that, bro. So we're gonna go right into number 2. Tech, okay. I think this will be really good for you, bro. So number 2 says the lack of market understanding. So the solution that I had on there right now is conduct thorough market research to understand customer needs and preferences, analyze competitors, and tailor marketing strategies accordingly. Utilize customer feedback. What do you say about lack of market understanding for small businesses?
Yeah, well, specifically to the notary industry, but I think this could apply across the board, but specifically to what notaries do. When notaries don't understand what it is that they actually do, they can't define it. They can't give a definition to what they do, then it's going to be difficult for a customer to actually understand that. So for instance, you ask the question, well, what is a notary? Or somebody asks you, hey, what do you do? I'm a notary. What is a notary? A notary is the person who deters fraud or who authenticates signatures. Yeah, on the surface, that's what it is. But when we talk about marketing and we talk about advertising, we talk about getting clients and having a business, understanding what the word business is, meaning that's to transfer value from one person to another person, or from one entity to another entity. So if you can't define what it is that's what you do, or if you give some type of dictionary definition as to what it is, which is, oh, I'm a person who deters fraud. Well, yeah, of course. I'm a person of integrity. Well, of course, that's the entry point. That's what it takes to actually do this. Well, yeah, I'm background check. Well, yeah, we understand those things. Oh, yeah, and I witness signatures, and then I stamp documents. Well, of course, everybody with a commission can do that. But what I'm saying, understanding what the market is looking for, this is where you start to define what it is that you do. And this is why it becomes very simple to get clients and to find opportunities for marketing. So when somebody says, hey, Tech, what is a notary? See, my answer is it depends who's asking. Depends. Because if you're a lawyer or if you're a person who's trying to serve a restraining order to their boyfriend, or you're a person who's trying to set up their boss for an appointment at their office, it depends. See, I'm going to answer the question based upon what you respond with. My question back to you, which is, who's signing your document? How many people are signing it? And do they all have ID? And can I actually get to them? Because I understand that this is about urgency. I understand that it's about getting an answer to these 3 data points. Where are you? Who's there? And do they all have ID? If you can answer yes to that, to my checklist, then I can be wherever you need me to be at whatever time. Half an hour, or we can do it later at 5:30. So I understand that the person who's calling me, they're not looking for a notary per se. They are, but they're not, right? They're looking for somebody to come answer this specific question for this power of attorney that's inside this intensive care unit in the next 45 minutes. It's very, very specific. And on top of that, that person is probably less than 55 years old. That person probably understands some technology. That person probably doesn't mind swiping their credit card electronically. That person probably, see, that person fits into a specific mold. That's because I'm defining what this person's looking for. There's some people that need it for $2 and they try to get all of that for $2. I need you to come to my house, and I've got some witnesses traveling from out of town, and we are gathering together so that we can sign this power of attorney for my mother who's dying. Oh yeah, by the way, I only have $4 in my pocket, but I need you to come to me right now. On the other hand, there's a woman who says, my car just got stolen. I've been dealing with the insurance company for the last 2 weeks. They've sent me this document that says I have to go get it signed. I'm in front of your office right now. Can I get into the building? You're like, no, we don't have a building, but you still need that document signed, don't you? Yes, I do. Here's how we can help you. So I'm addressing that specific person's question. Oh, by the way, the price, it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, still got to get it done. It's just a matter of what time do you need it. So my marketing, and this applies to it, whether you wash car windows, whether you're a landscaper, it doesn't matter whether you sell ice on the freeway. If you're answering that person's specific question, then that line of marketing to me, or fitting into your specific market, piece of cake, or it becomes more fun. Let me put it that way. It's way more fun because you can understand the client a little bit better. And then the clients want this. They look for this. They're like, this is why I called. This is why I reached out. I didn't reach out to be interrogated. I didn't reach out to talk to a lawyer. I don't want to be questioned. I don't want you to be looking into my bank account. I came so I can get this piece of paper signed. Can you help me? Like, yeah. So, and then you start throwing in the technology, which makes it much more simplified, make it more streamlined. As long as you are a service provider, then I think the logic applies, as long as you provide a service, you can find a customer who's looking for it. It's just a matter of how you communicate that message and whether or not, you don't have to use crazy language and out-of-date techniques. You got to actually speak to what the person's looking for, but define who you are first, define what it is that you do.
Indeed. So we'll go right into number 3. Ineffective. Well, the number 3 reason why small businesses fail is ineffective marketing and strategies. So the solution would be develop a comprehensive marketing plan, targeting the right audience through various channels such as social media, email, marketing campaigns, SEO, networking events. Hold on, let me bring up the other one. Invest in sales training for staff to improve conversion rates. Now, I know this for a fact, and I guess I'll gangster boogie on this one, fellas. You're not selling to yourself. So I know that a lot of people will mark up a price on one of their products and they'll say, nobody will buy at that price. The reason you're saying that is because you wouldn't buy at that price. So you're forcing your buying habits onto your customers, and that's a no-no. A second thing that you need to stop assuming is pocket watching. A lot of business owners, especially small business owners, they'll pocket watch a customer and don't realize that they're discounting or counting out a certain type of customer because they're like, okay, I'll give you an example. You don't like Louis Vuitton. You don't like Gucci. You think the pricing of the purses are too expensive. A Rolex watch going for $15,000 is ridiculous. You could go to Walmart or Target and buy a nice watch for $20, $25. That's you forcing your buying habits. And that is also you counting the pockets of your customer. Your customer may have a dozen Louis Vuitton bags. Your customer may be a watch fanatic and have all type of watches on there. So the fact that you're pushing your lack of knowledge on sales and marketing is really, really hurting your business. And I think all 3 of us got something to talk about on that one. London, I'll ask you, what do you think about that?
No, I think that was very well said. And the primary reason why, to me, it always go back to lack of capital. But there's different ways you can market without having an abundance of capital behind you. And we'll definitely dive into that. But I want to focus on the market strategy when you do have access to capital, because there's a saying in business, you can go maybe 6 months, 12 months, 24 months without landing profit in your business, but you can't go not one day without cash. My interpretation is that it may take you a while to turn a profit, but if you have access to cash, whether that's a line of credit, business credit cards, an investor investing into your business, you will be okay. You won't fall into insolvency, right? Because you're constantly pumping money into you got a well-oiled machine. But most individuals, the reason why they can't grow their business is because we have no marketing budget, right? We don't have capital to invest into marketing. So that's the reason why we're not growing or scaling, right? You have to have a marketing budget, right? You think you're going to grow your business and not able to have systems in place for emails, right? Grow an email list. How do you do that? Well, give out something free. Let them subscribe to your email. And that starts with like having a funnel. So you need marketing. Maybe you got to pay a team, or maybe you got to learn how to do it yourself. So you got to invest in someone that you know, like, and trust that'll help you create that marketing system, right? So now you have to get a CRM. So that's huge when you come to business. So marketing is huge. It's practically everything. So I ask people all the time. People always want to make $1 million, right, or more. How much money you want to make in your business? I want to make $1 million to get all excited. But their expectation is for $1 million to drop in their lap. Like it's just going to come to you. No, but what if I told you you have to invest $750,000 in your company in order to make $1 million? What if I told you have to invest $500,000 in your company? See, that simple concept of spending money to make money goes out the window. right? We all want to be business owners. We all want to make all this money, but we forget that we actually have to spend money.
Right.
But what I teach you, it doesn't have to be your money. That's the whole idea behind it. That's the whole strategy behind it. But don't get it twisted. You do have to spend money, but it can be the bank money to make money. So you might need to, I know you definitely need to have a marketing campaign, right? So marketing is essential. You have to invest into marketing in order to grow and scale your business. There's no way around. And there's different forms of marketing. Like I said, you can do bootstraps. You can, now we got social media. That's going to be form of marketing. But eventually, in order for you to get to that number, if you want to get to a really high number, you have to have a marketing team, right? You have to have a marketing budget. You have to invest in all type of things. You have ads, you have Googles, right? You have to get the email systems, right? You have to get all these things in order to grow and scale your business after you started. So again, it all comes down to capital, having capital in order to do that. See, most of you are stuck doing $10 jobs because you have the lack of capital. So now you the person who take out your own trash. You the person who send the emails. You the person who answer the phone calls. You the person that's running your marketing planner, right? So you do everything in your business. So these are called $10 job because you don't have the capital to delegate that responsibility to other people.
That's good.
All right.
Yeah, that's solid. That's solid. And that I'm glad you said that because it runs right into our next one. And Tech, that you could definitely take the lead on this. It goes into inadequate operational management. So number 4 reason why small businesses fail is inadequate operational management. Solution would be to streamline the process, delegate, as London just said, delegate tasks effectively, invest in technology and automation. And that's why I thought you'd do great with this one, Tech. Tools to increase efficiency and ensure clear communication. Talk on that, brother.
Man, shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to everybody who's actually in on this sales training. And man, I'm so happy we got London in the building too to add that extra layer of hot sauce.
No doubt.
Yep.
Man, because I love that answer, and that helped me a lot. Your answer just helped me, so I hope everybody else got that. But speaking about inadequate operational management, which that, like you said, Tiger, goes right into what we were just discussing. So this is a sales training, ain't it?
Yes,
Last
indeed.
Indeed.
Sales training. So I'm gonna break this down, man. The lack of capital to me is because as you were talking, Leonard, I was thinking to myself, why would somebody not be confident in marketing their business? I'm thinking lack of capital, absolutely. The reason why I felt confident in number one, I felt confident because I felt secure that I actually had a business, meaning I had a step-by-step process to take somebody who was interested in what I was looking for and being able to deliver it. I could name in 7 steps what this person will, I can basically tell them their future. You're going to call me. Like Lennon said, I'm not going to be the person who answers it. Mm-hmm. But there's going to be an answer. There's going to be a response. That person, if they need further assistance, then they could then call or speak to a live person. If from there, that person's problem was, we would determine that they needed 1 passport application in the city of Chicago at 2:30, then we could qualify a person to go out and execute that assignment for them. They could pay us. We could then send a review request. They could then post that. Other readers who were, because we advertise and because we invest into getting our name out there, another person could read that other person's positive experience, and then the cycle could just repeat itself. So now at some point so this is our operational strategy. And now but like Lennon said, at the base, it starts with, to me, the access to capital, then the confidence that you actually have a step-by-step process, and you're secure with that too. Now, the automation side of it is interesting because it's impossible to scale without it, or it's impossible rather to scale or to grow if you do everything. Put it that way.
Agree. You got automated or delegated. So
Automated or delegated.
I definitely agree with that.
You have to offset some of your responsibility. You can't do everything, man. You just can't. Nor should you. No,
Right.
no. Why would you want to do everything? Right? Tiger, you always say this. You're the visionary. You're the person who's the leader. You're the CEO. You drive the seat. You're the captain of the Starship Enterprise. You know what I'm saying? You're the person who leads the ship.
Absolutely.
And I 100% agree with that. And so what's some simple ways that you could introduce automation in some of these operational strategies? Well, think about, again, do you actually have a business? That's the question. Do you actually have a step-by-step process for you to transfer money from one person to another person, or transfer value from one person to another person? You do. If you have a notary business, that's just one example. But if you're answering somebody's question, then as an entrepreneur, then you actually have, a way to make that either simpler, make it faster, make it more, efficient, make it cheaper, or make it more expensive. I don't know, however you want to go about that. But the automation is interesting because the email is perfect. I had a guy who just recently left a review and said, when he booked the appointment, he actually paid, and immediately he got some emails triggered to give him even more confidence, and he felt even more secure that he made the right choice because there was constant communication. But hey, I'm not calling him though. I'm not the one calling this guy. I can't send him text messages and send him emails that let him know that somebody's en route to his home to meet with his wife. People have confidence issues about that. You want men meeting women in their homes. There's some issues around that. So you investing in your ability to market and your ability to look excellent on paper and to actually follow through with that, that's a business. That's how and it requires your investment. And it should, because whatever you invest, you get it right back.
Oh, I like what you just said. I tell people all the time, not only credit, but business is all about perception. Do you look good on paper? So we have to make sure that we properly look good on paper, right? Making it a full established business, because at the end of the day, when it comes to your business, it's if you're in business you have to have an extra strategy. So, or eventually you will have an extra strategy, right? You might sell or right, you might have other people come in and invest in your company. So that could be part of your extra strategy. But it's all about how they perceive your business. So if you don't have the automations, if you don't have staff, you don't have the systems, if you don't have a clean process where everything is running smoothly, right? Of course, you got to have a good product or a service, right? So that's all in running a full business, because there's a difference between a self-employer, a business, or a small business, a big business. All that is different. A side hustle, it's all different. And it starts with how you run your business. And marketing is huge when it comes to your marketing and branding strategy behind you, because most people buy into you, not really like Apple. Like the name is Apple. So simple. Tiger talk about this all the time, right? So your personal brand can be way bigger than the brand of your company. So when I say your personal brand, I'm talking about you, but I'm also talking about the people who's actually working with you, your team, and your systems and your automations. All that is your branding.
Yes.
Just wanted to add that.
Yep. No, I love it. Love it. So I hope you guys are getting value from this. We're unraveling the 5 pitfalls and catastrophes that small businesses make. If you guys have to review this video and kind of like go over, I would hate for it. It makes no sense where small businesses are coming up in the game and they're making the same mistakes over and over and over again. And you're like, all right, I got to start up a new corporation. And, it never gets past the 3-year mark, because one of these 5, or maybe all 5, is affecting your business. So we're going to go into number 5, and then we do have a bonus one for you. But before we do that, we're going to go into a quick commercial break. As they say, pay some of these bills around the house. Opus Clip turns your long form videos into short clips
in one click.
Opus Clip is powered by AI, and it can create 30 clips in 15 minutes and outperform any manual video editing by saving 90% of time and tons of money. Opus Clip is so hot right now, it's like trying to get tickets to a Beyonce concert. So get Opus Clip now. Don't be the person who hears about it later and goes,
dang, I should have listened to Tiger Toledo.
Go ahead. Be the cool one in your squad. Try Opus Clip today for free. Just click the link in the description. Number 5. Failure to adapt the change. In London, you helped me out a lot with this. So to stay informed about industry trends and technological advancement, be open to innovation and be willing to pivot strategies or offerings as needed to meet evolving customers, because customers are getting smarter every single day, ladies and gentlemen. Every single day, customers are getting smarter. I promise you this, because if you look 10 years ago, people were very hesitant to put their credit card into, an Amazon or a website. Today, they let the website store their credit card. That's how efficient and streamlined this thing has become.
That's a great point.
One of the reasons why I wanted to bring you in on this one, London, is because I look at my YouTube experience of my failure to adapt change. I started on YouTube about 2007. I was using 2007 methods in 2024. Truth be told, I was stuck at 776 subscribers for the longest, like damn near 2 years, and it was frustrating as hell. And London mentored me and kind of coached me up on it. And then right now I'm at 997 in like a couple of months.
Nice.
That failure to adapt the change is so crucial. That's like a person saying, I don't like to use computers in my business. I'm just going to paper file everything. So let talk about that, London. You got the stage, brother.
Well, when it comes to, we all know everything is changing. We have the media, we have YouTube. YouTube is the biggest platform there is as far as when it comes to content, right? It's higher than, especially search engine, right? It's higher than TikTok, to Instagram, to Facebook, right? All of those. So it took me a while to adjust to YouTube. I only been on YouTube for about 6-7 months. Right. So when I first started, the first thing I did, I was procrastinating the whole entire time. I don't know, for a year and a half. I always told myself be on YouTube. But I know what I know, right? As far as when it comes to credit, when it comes to business, right? I've been in business since 2014. Started my first limousine company out here in Chicago, Illinois, my brother and I. And we never looked back. Been an entrepreneur ever since 2014. I say that to say this. It's so many changes that I've been through in my business because of not only the world, but my learning experience, me learning about cash, me learning about credit, me learning about relationships, me learning about investors, right? I've done it all. I had all types of different types of loans you can think of, all different types of financial products. So I had to constantly evolve. Like when I first got into business, everything was cash. I sold my car 2008. Well, I bought the car in 2008. I'm sorry. I sold it in 2012. After 6 months paying it off, went through Chase Bank, paid off, sold it 6 months later, used tax money, used family and friends to invest into my first party bus in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Bring it back out here, made a lot of money, but went through a lot of trials and errors because we was ignorant to the fact of credit. We was using the money that we was making in our business to reinvest in back to our company. Maintenance issues. You talking about $10,000 transmission went out. You talking about $5,000 for brakes. You talking about $2,000 for air conditioner on and off. So we have all these unexpected expenses that we have to constantly put into our business that we was making in the business. So we was just going around this cycle like this until I'm like, it has to be a better way. So again, this comes with change, right? Pivoting, understanding that things evolve. You have to evolve as a person, right? Dealing with technology and all these different things. So that's when I learned about business credit. Hey, what if we get a loan, right? What if we do this? What if we go this route as opposed to using our own money? So that way we have some cash freed up, because credit is not king, cash is not king. Cash flow is king. That positive cash flow that you get every month. It was sucking us dry. So I had to pivot, right, to start using the bank's money. That was part of my change in the business. I had to stop using my cash and use credit. And the rest is history. But then 2020, I have to pivot again. Again, another change. The pandemic. I'm sure this hurt a lot of businesses. I know it hurt my limousine company. So I lost 2 of my vehicles. I lost the party bus and I lost the SUV, and I lost the Sprinter. So really 3 vehicles. So I had to pivot, right? What I'm going to do, right? I learned from that though. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't rely on one company or 2 companies to give you majority of your contracts. So I have to learn from that. So now I have to pivot. You know what? I love credit. I've been learning a lot about credit. I've been dealing with credit. Let me start teaching people about credit, right? And how business credit, business funding, and how as a new LLC, you can get access to capital no matter where you are in your business. Just all about, you don't lack a credit problem or a cash problem. You lack a strategy problem, right? Because you don't have the proper information and knowledge to execute on that strategy to go ahead and get the results that you want because of lack of strategy. So I had to learn that, but I had to pivot because something happened in my business. So you constantly have to change in business, whether it's technology with this AI, right? Chat GPT, whether it's different things that's coming out, that's constantly coming out, changing the way we think, changing the way we view certain things in our business. So you have to evolve in your business. So that's part of my experience and involvement in my business. And you may have to get help. That's part of the thing too, right? Mm-hmm. We want to try to reinvent the wheel. You don't do that, right? What you do is you get with somebody that you know, like, or trust, that you want to do business with, that you can relate with. That's part of, hey, I want to do like that, but do it in my own unique way. And here's the thing about it. Most people, when I say reinvent the wheel, right, I also mean it's okay to copy, right? You can copy somebody else. Nobody is it's only one guy, right? He's the main creator. But when we create, we see something, or subconsciously we see something and we make it into our own, right? Just think of the cell phones, how much it evolved, because people build out that one cell phone, build out that cell phone, and the person that did the first cell phone got something off something that made him do the cell phone. So, or he, she, or whoever it was, I don't know who invented the cell phone, but I'm just making a point, right? As far as it's okay to copy, it's okay to pivot, it's okay to reinvent yourself, because everything is constantly growing. So then fast forward, now I'm on YouTube. The first thing I did was just turn on the camera. Mm-hmm. After I turned on the camera, I was off. I just did it. Then I started learning. I started reading books. I started studying YouTube, right? I really started doing my due diligence, spending time, resources, energy on how can I grow my YouTube. Fast forward later, 7 months later, I got almost 30,000 subscribers, over 1 million views, right? Because from my previous experience from the party bus and credit business, I learned that you have to adapt and you have to change in order to grow and scale, and not just from a monetary perspective, but also just from a mental perspective too as well.
Well said, brother. Well said. What about you, Tech?
Yeah, congratulations on that too, London. Shout out, man.
Yeah,
oh,
1 million views, 1 million in 7 months.
It's been a journey. Appreciate that, fellas.
Yeah, absolutely, man. What I really heard in there, and you kind of spoke to this as well, is how important a mentor is.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Somebody who can show you the way. You can find somebody who's going to the top, or at least going in the direction you're going, not the opposite direction, right? Go follow that person, man. Follow that person that you know, like, and trust. And it's, to me, the mentorship. I don't know, man. I don't know how it can be substituted. I mean, you can try to figure out things on your own, but it just takes longer. And the faster you learn, the faster you're going to get results. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, if you can learn quicker and you could be real with yourself and evaluate yourself and say, listen, I need to, all right, this is what I learned for the last month, and let me implement this quickly. And for small business owners, the nice thing about that is that you don't have to go through several different bureaucratic channels and upper level management and supervisors and approvals and things like that.
Right.
You could just go right into it and start it the next day. There's times I've talked to Tiger, got off the phone right with him, and then the price went up for something, and we tried different strategy straight up. I would try things right there on the phone with him, right? How many times have you taken
right? Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Yeah, and
Facts.
and I kind of share some of those examples of being innovative, being innovative and thinking outside of the norm, and those high-low techniques. Like we would try it right there on the spot, and Tiger like put me on the phone with him right now, and let's try to get this deal done. But I want to share something with you guys as far as how I approach business and why I think it's more fun when you start to innovate and be creative and really try to put your stamp on, like you said in London. You take what's already existing and then you really try to put your own swag and put your own style onto it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you ever been doing something important and then somebody like interrupts it? Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah, all the time.
all the time,
Absolutely.
right? Isn't that what a service industry is, or isn't that what a business is? You were existing, you were doing what you were doing, you were cooking, you were with your family, taking a shower, sleeping, and then a phone call comes in. And then the email comes in. You were already doing something important, and then that thing just interrupts and derails kind of what you were thinking, or what that line of thinking you were on. And just in case you're not getting this, allow me to kind of illustrate this example. So you're working on your budget for your business, whatever, and then your wife or your brother or somebody, a relative, text you and say they send you a picture of a beautiful looking cake. And you're like, damn, I just baked this cake. You want to try it? You were doing something very important, and then now your attention is on this cake. You're like, yeah, I would love to try it. And then you go back to doing what you were doing. And then 3 minutes later, they send you another follow-up message saying, okay, I'll save you some. Now you got derailed again. And you're like, okay. But in business, this is how I've kind of addressed that. And this is why I'm saying the quicker you can learn, the faster you can implement these things. When I was working with notary clients or potential prospect notary clients, let me teach you something here. A notary, you're probably living your life. You're probably single, one person, one woman show. You're doing something that you were already planning on doing. And then a phone call comes in from a signing service, from a title company, from a private client. They just jumped into your daily mix. They interrupted you. Can I have a notary appointment? No, that's not always what they say, but just using that as an example. And then you say yes. And then there's this back and forth exchange. Just like the person who sent you the cake. They're like, oh, you want to try it? Like, yes. They're like, okay, I'll save you some. You're like, okay, when can I come get it? Maybe today at 3. I'm not available at 3. What about tomorrow at 11? Well, just knock on the door and make sure you bring some Tupperware. Oh, see, there's a back and forth exchange. Now, here's a smarter way to go about that. And this is what I did. And this is what I implemented in my notary business. I'll let you guys in on this sort of behind the scenes. Somebody interrupts me during my day. I'm on a sales training call, or I'm driving, or you're at work because you have a full-time job, or you're hanging out with your kids. And then you get a message. It says, are you available for a notary? I'm saying, proverbially speaking, from a private client, they're inquiring about your services. Instead of saying, yes, I am, or no, I'm not, what I would do, and this is what I've implemented, speaking to in London, saying, putting your personality into your business. Yes, I am. If you meet these 3 requirements, if you are in the city, you have these number of signatures, you have valid ID, here's how you can take the next step and then book an appointment for today at 2:30, 3:30, or 4:45. And then they take the next step, as opposed to doing this back and forth exchange where you're going back and forth trying to figure out or negotiate what's going on. If they agree to that first message, then we've essentially shortened that amount of contact time, and we've made it more of an automated, streamlined process. Mentorship, see, somebody can point that out to you, right? if you didn't understand that, well, can somebody compartment? Can you like sort of break that down and make it into smaller chunks so that you can understand that concept? Now all of a sudden you understand business. Oh, it clicks. This is how I communicate. This is how I price. This is how I negotiate if they object to what the terms are. If they don't, or if they meet only 2 check points out of the 3. That's where mentorship comes in. And I think it's essential to any business growth. And I just want to illustrate that example about how, it's a minefield out there. It's all these explosives and there's all these traps. And you'll get caught in them every single time if you didn't see it coming. So I love it. I love the opportunity to work with other people, and I'm glad that you guys are on the sales training to learn how to, learn a little bit of background information about business and what has worked for us, and it could work for you.
Indeed, well put, brother. So I wanted to, before we go into the bonus, I want to announce Book of the Week. The book of the week is 10x is easier than 2x. The link is in the description. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm on my 2nd week with this book. I probably already listened to it. I have the audio version. I'm not that big of a reader, but I'm a great listener, right? And I'm on my 2.5 week of this. It is transformative. That's the best thing I could say about it. It's transformative. Myron Golden, anybody that follows Myron Golden would know that this is a book that he highly recommends. What it does, it shows you how to get more done in less time and make more money and leverage your opportunities and your networking ability. It's a phenomenal book. I would highly recommend that you, it's a recommended read. Check it out. You'd like it. So let's go into the last one, which is the bonus one of how to avoid a catastrophe in a small business. Hold on 1 second. Let me pull it up for you guys. And you guys should see it in the comment section as well on YouTube. But let me pull this. So this is it. And I'm sure a lot of people that eat at restaurants would West Indian restaurants specifically would probably experience this. The bonus one is poor customer service and retention. Prioritize excellent first-class customer service by training staff to be attentive, responsive, and empathetic. Implement loyalty programs, solicit feedback, and let me add customer concerns promptly to build long-term relationships and enhance retention rates. Now, I can tell you, anytime I go to a West Indian restaurant, whether it's a Haitian restaurant or it's a Jamaican restaurant or it's a Trinidadian restaurant, there's always some food that's not available. And they look at you and they say, let me get that oxtail. No more oxtail. Let me get some griot Julia Pois. We don't have no more of that.
We don't have that either.
Let me
Come
get
back tomorrow, 2:00.
Right. Let me get a chicken roti. No, we don't have no more of that until next week. Like, I called you. You said you had that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here right now. I pre-ordered it.
Oh, can I go with that? That's a great example. So that's like, I'm sure you listening to this, you experienced that with car dealerships. Put us all back on the thing, Ty, real quick. Car dealerships, because I want y'all to be engaged with this too. So, right, a car dealership, they tell you get on the phone with them and you say, hey, my credit score is not in position. I got limited funds. I need a car though. Oh yeah, come down here. We do 580, 560 credit scores. You good to go. We can get you a lender. We got a lender down here. You get down there. The first thing they tell you after they run your credit is what?
You don't qualify for shit.
Right. You don't qualify or you need a co-signer. Right. That's the man. Right. Oh, now you're calling grandma up. You're calling your ex guy up that you ain't talked to in a while. You want them to co-sign. So that's part of that. And now you like, man, this car dealership is whack, right? You'll probably never go back again. First of all, you probably spent 5-6 hours in there before they told you need a cosigner. So after they told you over the phone that everything is going to be good. So that's part of the lack of, I just thought of that dealing with the people I talk to, right? Whether you're trying to get a business auto loan or whether you were trying to get a personal car, that these car dealerships, knowing your credit is not in position, right? Knowing the income is probably is not there. Knowing you don't have the proper documents to get a car, but they still tell you to come down there. Now you got this bittersweet in your mouth. Then when they do sell your car, let's say you have a 580 credit score because they went through a subprime lender, which is different from a prime lender. A subprime lender can practically get you approved for just about anything. You can have a 3 credit score, right? Or a really low credit score that you really can't even finance a Snicker bar, but they can get you approved for a car loan. Yeah, but it's going to come with 30% interest on the back end, and your down payment is going to be ridiculous. So on a 2004 car, right? So there's ways, again, there's strategies, ways for them to actually, that's why they keep you in there for 5 hours trying to get you approved through a subprime lender. Or they might have in-house financing to try to get you approved. But that's poor customer service, right? They not creating a win-win situation. I'm huge on win-win because everybody have the mindset. Majority of people, I won't say everybody, but majority of people have the mindset, especially new LLC or small business owners, what's in it for me, right? That's the wrong concept to think about, wrong ideology. What's in it for me? Because guess what? The next person is thinking, what's in it for me, right? So somebody has to say, okay, let me just serve this individual to the best ability that I can, right? What do this person want? So if one person give in, and it should be you as the business owner, how can I serve this person? What does this person really want? That's what the main 3 questions I ask, and it's in one part. Whenever you ever talk to me as far as consultation one-on-one, how much funding do you need? When do you need it by? Right? How much funding do you need? When do you need it by? And I always ask them too, as far as the bonus, when I ask them that, but most people say, hey, well, I need $1 million. When you need it by? 30 days. What? And then a bonus question, what do you need it for? I don't know. I just need capital. Like, you don't, it's not, so that type of answer let me know you're not serious. I'll still take you serious. But if you come in there and you say, hey, I need $1 million, I need 30 days. First of all, the data points is nowhere near $1 million in 30 days. It's a little ridiculous. Then you don't even know why you need $1 million for. So, but I still, hey, let's break this down, right? What's some of the things, now I go a little bit deeper because I really want to know why you think you need $1 million, but you really just need, I don't know, 25,000, 50,000, 100,000, right? So really care and really be diligent about your customers. And I promise you'll get that return on your investment. 10 times that return on investment will really come in. So that's my 2 cents.
What would you say about poor customer service, Tech?
Yeah, it's impossible to do it and survive. I don't think it's possible. You can't make it because, listen, in this society that we live in, you have options. I mean, I don't have to work with you.
Right.
I don't care that you sell tires for half off.
Mm-hmm.
I might not just be looking for the price for the cheapest thing or for you to give me a deal. I might be looking for the best service. And if I'm looking for the best service, I'm gonna go to wherever the best service is located. So, it does a disservice to, no pun intended, to you as an individual to give somebody a poor experience, because ultimately what people will remember is what you, how they were feeling during that whole exchange. And I'll give an example. There's a guy who left. I've got over 170 reviews on my business account, right? But there's 2 in particular that stand out. I'll never forget these 2 reviews. And I always try to say that I want to give everybody the best experience as possible when they work with me, because I'm grateful for you choosing me and selecting me. And, not always, it's kind of sometimes when you provide service, it's a little thankless. Like you don't always know how much you've done for somebody unless they say it. But these two particular reviews, I thought they were really interesting. The first one, this woman talked about how when I walked into the room, how what I like to do, and Tiger, you know this, I like to always greet the babies first.
Mhm.
If there's a baby in the room, always
You
greet
said the babies?
the baby first.
Oh, okay.
Tech